This is News Fighters, where we fight the news so you don't have to.
Hi everyone, welcome to News Fighters for today. It's Friday the 22nd of March 2019. It's state election eve in New South Wales. Have you got the state election fever? I'm your host Dylan Bain. In this episode we're going to be looking back on the amazing New South Wales state election campaign. Buckle up! Okay, now before we start looking at the leaders, let's start by looking at the minor parties, who absolutely can't be ruled out based on what the Daily Telegraph reckons.
Michael Daley and the Greens are plotting to enter an unholy alliance to form a bizarre minority government with the Shooters, Fishers and Farmers Party.
Okay, let's start with the Shooters, Fishers and Farmers Party, who absolutely cannot be held back from tackling the big issues.
G'day, Phil Donato here. Every day I get asked by people about the construction of the Orange Hospital car park.
Another issue the Shooters, Fishers and Farmers is tackling in New South Wales is the container deposit scheme. Now let's check out this ad and watch for the finely crafted scripting and performance.
I'm here with Steve from St Ives. He's collected 1,000 bottles for over 12 months, ever since the scheme was announced.
I've collected over 1,000 bottles since the container deposit scheme was announced.
Good stuff. Call the Academy. Okay, now, on to the candidates vying to be Premier, and it's between Liberal leader and Nanny State head nanny, Gladys Berejiklian.
Did you try drugs when you were younger?
I actually didn't.
You didn't?
I did not. I'm one of, and I
Marijuana?
I haven't tried anything.
And your uncle, who used to be a lot more fun when he used to drink, Michael Daley.
You have outdone yourself. You have absolutely outdone yourself today.
And Berejiklian has been front and centre talking up her economic credentials every chance she gets.
We came to government, the budget was a mess. Our budget is the strongest it's ever been. Our economy is the strongest it's ever been. We've turned the state around. We now have the strongest economy, strongest budget. And I'm incredibly proud of the fact that not only do we have no debt in our government budget.
Yep, and it's a big thanks to people like me, young homebuyers who wound up shelling an extra $20,000 out of their pockets when the Liberals got rid of the first homebuyers grant and the stamp duty exemption when they got in 2011. You're welcome. But anyways, while Berejiklian talks up the economy, Labor leader Michael Daley is fascinated with insects.
We name bugs. So when we see a spider on the tree, me and my little fella will give the spider a name or the beetle a name.
Okay, can you say anything creepier?
I'd never do the moonwalk publicly, I have to tell you that.
Okay, I'm not sure which advisor of yours told you Michael Jackson was back in fashion right now, but they should be fired. Okay, so Daley and Berejiklian squared off in a number of high-profile debates over the course of the campaign, and you can tell that it was starting to wear them down. Here's Michael Daley being asked to say something positive about Gladys on the Today Show yesterday.
Get rid of the negatives and do some positives. Michael, you?
Well, she's very good at talking over people, Deb. That's one thing she's got a good skill at.
Gladys talking over people? What on earth do you mean?
First they were knocking it down.
Well, that's a different position you had to yesterday.
Then they weren't knocking it down. Then it had
That's a different position to yesterday.
What I've said from day one is that we want that state. I think that's
not true.
What do you think?
That's not true. That's misleading.
Sorry, Premier.
I love coming out to ANZ and watching the rabbit.
But how much are you going to spend on fixing it?
I'm sorry, but if we can't just keep interrupting each other because we do need...
I'm not.
What I will do is make...
Premier.
It's all right.
Sorry, everybody.
Well, at least she's apologetic about it. Anyway, one of their most surreal debates of the week was when they both showed up on the Kyle and Jackie O breakfast radio show, where Kyle Sandilands really had the chance to show off his trademark political intelligence and journalistic skills.
Is anyone vetoing marijuana? Is anyone up for marijuana?
No.
No, you're not?
No.
Yes, showing up on the Shock Jocks morning drive time radio show was a great chance for both leaders to appear more relatable to a mass audience of commuters.
What sort of car do you drive, Mr. Daley?
I've got a Holden Commodore.
Oh, right, so you're a normal bloke.
Just a guy from the burbs, that's me.
Is that the new Commodore or the shitty one?
No,
the
it's
old
the
one?
shitty one, yeah.
The shitty old one.
Yeah.
What are you driving, Premier?
Well, I have a... Well, to be honest, I get a driver.
Oh, so relatable. Now, watch as Gladys tries to show off her warm and cordial side as she reaches out to her opponent.
Do you know the woman?
We don't socialise.
No.
Yeah.
Will we have dinner after the election? No?
Yeah, I'm not sure if she didn't want to have him over to dinner because she's unfriendly or she just doesn't actually eat food like a normal human. Could go either way. Anyways, the Kyle and Jackie O show also gave their listeners a chance to call in and ask questions of the two candidates. And listen in, as I think it really shows off the calibre and intellect of the New South Wales electorate.
Now, I'm a long-time smoker, and the smoking prices are absolutely killing.
I'm pretty keen to vote for the loosest politician.
I've sent a lot of nude and provocative photos over the years to people, but I want to get into politics one day.
Every time I go out and eat. I am not able to order any kids' meal without a kid with me.
Yes, forget education, healthcare and the cost of living. The main issue New South Wales voters want to know about is why they can't get a kids' meal when they're a grown adult. I think Michael Daley had the ideal solution.
Borrow someone's kid. If you're in a restaurant and there's a kid at the table and say, can I borrow your kid?
Yes, Michael Daley literally does think he's Michael Jackson, doesn't he? Except with one difference.
I'd never do the moonwalk publicly.
Yes, vote 1, Michael Daley and Labor. We will steal your children. Anyways, next up was the Jonesy and Amanda show over at WSFM, where for some reason Gladys seemed to think she would come off looking bad next to Michael Daley.
We were going to have you and Gladys in the studio together, but Gladys has said that she doesn't want to be on our show with you.
So without Gladys there to interrupt him, Michael Daley just wound up talking about pies.
I always have a lucky pie. I haven't told him on this before. It's the first.
Okay.
I always have a pie. Can I give some a plug?
Please.
The House of Pie at Matraville.
Yeah, I know the House of Pie.
I always, before every election, I've been doing it for 30 years. I always go and have my lucky pie.
Interesting strategy. Maybe he's trying to pick up the Homer Simpson voters.
Pie.
Okay, now to sum up the final week of the campaign.
Yeah, I think when we look back, this final week of the campaign for the Labor leader will be one of the all-time bad weeks.
But let's see what made this the week from hell for Daley. First up,
Labor leader Michael Daley has apologised after being accused of making racist remarks. He told a crowd that young people are fleeing Sydney as Asians with PhDs take their jobs.
It was reportedly recorded at an event called Politics at the Pub.
The whole politics in the pub thing actually makes a lot of sense. The downfall of every single New South Wales political leader has been alcohol related. So up steps Daley and boards the Apology Express.
I misspoke. I could have chosen my words more carefully. I've conceded that my language could have been better, whilst I could have expressed myself better.
But just when things couldn't get any worse, along came the Sky News debate on Wednesday night.
The Labor leader stumbling through a TV debate, unable to give clear costings on key promises.
Opposition leader Michael Daley stumbled his way through a voter forum, even forgetting his own signature policies.
How much more are you going to spend on TAFE?
Will be about $3 billion on TAFE with all their...
$3 billion.
Well, tell me, check that figure, David.
So hang on, Michael Daley. You're not sure, with education centrepiece of your election, you're not sure how much more you're spending on schools, and you're not sure how much more you're spending on TAFE?
I'll just check that figure and get back to you, David.
And Sky News made sure to lay the boot in.
Michael Daley had a shocker.
He let himself down on those numbers.
He was exposed, as you know, as completely lacking detail.
He stumbled on important budget details and was unable to recall spending figures.
Yes, Michael Daley completely unable to recall important economic figures and said he'd have to look them up.
I'll just check that figure and get back to you, David.
Not at all like Gladys Berejiklian.
And that's the Treasury modelling?
Yeah, well, it's Infrastructure New South Wales. Okay. And can I say, in case my numbers are slightly skewed, if you look up the business cases...
So Michael Daley had to board the Apology Express again.
I made some errors last night. Both of us made a couple of blunders last night. And this is what happens sometimes in an election campaign. But you know what? It's not a game show.
Yes, he's right. It's not a game show. And thank God, I know people who work on game shows. And both these leaders are so violent, uncharismatic, that there's no way the producers would let them pass the cattle call audition stage. Anyways, you can guess who the media said won the debate.
The winner was clearly Gladys Berejiklian because they did a poll of those who were there.
According to the Daily Telegraph, New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian emerged victorious after last night's People's Forum. It was attended by 100 undecided voters.
Gladys Berejiklian has won, according to the people in the room.
Yes, the winner was decided by those
100 undecided voters.
But wait a second, were they all really undecided voters?
But it has just been pointed out to me that our previous question on religious schools did not come from an undecided voter. Sir, I'm told you are an Australian Conservatives candidate in this election. I'm not sure how you've managed to work your way into the audience here. We'll follow that up later.
I'll tell you what, if they're stacking their audience with friends, then it really is starting to resemble a
game show.
Now, having spent the whole election campaign watching these two uncharismatic, unrepresentative buffoons who want to run our state, I think I speak for everyone in New South Wales when I say...
Is anyone up for marijuana?
Okay, that's it for Newsfighters for today, 22nd of March 2019. Thanks for listening. Everyone in New South Wales, remember to vote. Also, subscribe on your favourite podcasting app. Also, we're on YouTube where you can watch the whole podcast with all the news clips in it. I'm Dylan Bain. Keep fighting and bye for now.
This is Newsfighters, where we fight the news so you don't have to.